What's good, you guys? You know what it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother. Yes, sirski. All right, man. So we got Dave Chappelle back on Oprah Winfrey controlling Taraji, saying that Oprah is jealous of other black actresses, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, Oprah has her own catalog of movies and entertainment and shows, the Oprah Winfrey Show, a lot of great things. So we thinking, like, how could she be jealous of other black actresses, bro? But Dave Chappelle warns us about Oprah trying to control Taraji. Spicy.
When a hero stumbles, well, the cowards rejoice. Nothing feels better to a coward than to watch a brave guy fall.
You know, we live in a world of social media and AI and all that, and this is what will endure. That's right. Hope will endure. Forgiveness will endure.
And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Dave Chappelle is back at it again, calling out Oprah for trying to control Taraji P. Henson. And it looks like Dave is implying that Oprah is a handler and gatekeeper for shady Hollywood higher-ups. For years, Oprah enjoyed a reputation as a humanitarian and philanthropist, but Dave Chappelle has been side-eyeing her from the jump and trying to warn everyone there's more to Oprah's story. You see, Oprah has been caught up in all sorts of drama in her career, from folks saying she shuts down anyone who dares criticize her, and even darker accusations floating around about her alleged ties to human trafficking.
Oprah Winfrey and her BFF. The man in this photo is, quote, John of God. Oprah promoted him as a miracle healer. This man kept women chained to impregnate so he could sell their babies for organs.
So what's the deal with Oprah and all these allegations about her being a gatekeeper? Did Dave Chappelle really try to warn us about her years ago? Let's get into it.
I'm very good at minding my own business. The trick to minding your own business is knowing what is your business.
After Taraji P. Henson recently revealed that she almost walked away from the really tried to warn us about her Purple, social media has been flooded with negative stories about Oprah allegedly sabotaging and blackballing black folks in the industry out of jealousy. And these are more than just rumors, because multiple high-profile celebs have publicly called out Oprah for being shady, from Toni Braxton and Michael Jackson's family to Monique, and of course, Dave Chappelle. So let's start with Toni, because I feel a lot of people forgot how Oprah did Toni dirty when that whole bankruptcy thing went down. So back in 1998, Toni got into some financial mess because the people she trusted to take care of her finances were making some shady money moves on the low. And she was eventually forced to file for bankruptcy, y'all. Of course, Oprah jumped at the opportunity to get an exclusive story and invited Toni to her show. Toni accepted, thinking it would be her chance to set the record straight and clear her name. But once those cameras started rolling, girl, Oprah flipped the script. And instead of giving Toni a platform to speak her truth, she went in, laying on the heat, making Toni feel dumb for not being money-wise like she is. Oprah pulled a total switcheroo on Toni, turning what was supposed to be a chance to explain into a public grilling.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%.
Okay.
Because it's my fault. It's my fault because I trusted and I believed and they gave me these people. It's okay. And I know no one. I went to college to be a school teacher. And I came to Atlanta and I met all these wonderful people and I trusted them and they believed in me and my talent. I think the most important thing I learned is to trust and believe in myself. And don't put all your trust and belief in someone else when it comes to handling your money.
Thanks.
Oh, please, that is the first rule.
I know, right?
That is success 101.
But Oprah didn't just stop at grilling. She took it further and seemingly clowned Toni's situation, making snarky comments about Toni going from a rich family to bankruptcy and cracking jokes about whether they'd have to pull all of Toni's fancy stuff up for auction.
I know you came from, middle-class parents, father's a preacher and all that, and I came from middle class parents. And I think when you haven't had a whole lot, then the idea of being broke isn't so bothersome, because you're used to being broke and it's just a state of being. But when you've had, First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware. When you had Gucci silverware and baby grand pianos, and you're used to wearing $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 gowns at a time, and spending $500 on a pair of shoes, it's a long drop. So how does that make you feel?
It's hard to explain because my image is much bigger than the dollars that I was allowed.
So would there be like a public auction of your things, like that Gucci flatware?
Probably.
There would be that.
And then Oprah did another shady switch-up move, steering the chat towards Toni's Vibe magazine cover and making things even more uncomfortable. She went from digging into Toni's financial woes to bringing up this revealing magazine cover like it's supposed to be the main dish.
Oh my God.
So you're telling us you had panties on?
Swear to God.
Really?
Swear to God. I had underwear on.
That sit-down did Toni dirty and painted her in a really bad light. So after the fact, Toni decided to put Oprah on blast in public, calling her out for being mean. Toni wasn't holding back, and she let everyone know how Oprah's vibe was nothing but negative.
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me. She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
Once that Oprah-Toni throwdown resurfaced again years later, Monique chimed in, and she hopped on Instagram to say that Oprah has always been about putting Black women down. Monique posted a clip from Oprah's interview with Toni and wrote, "If you think Oprah only demeans Black men, it's because the Black woman has been made virtually invisible. See for yourself with our sister Toni B." And while Oprah might harbor some resentment and jealousy towards beautiful and talented women like Toni, she didn't spare the men her shady side either, because we can't overlook what Oprah did to Michael Jackson and his family. Back in 1993, Michael gave Oprah the green light to go to Neverland for an exclusive sit-down. And this interview helped put Oprah on the map outside of the US. But fast forward to after Michael passing, and Oprah jumped on the hype surrounding the controversial HBO documentary Leaving Neverland and started dragging MJ's name through the mud. Oprah did a whole special with Michael's accusers, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, the two men who had previously sworn under oath that Michael never harmed them in any way. After catching heat for that special, Oprah defended herself, saying she was just trying to shine a light on the pattern of seducing that SA offenders use and expose a larger problem in the entertainment industry.
People call it molestation, but there is a big seducing that goes on, and the pattern of that seducing. And that was important enough for me to take the hateration for.
But here's the thing that got fans scratching their heads. Oprah never made a move to shine that same spotlight on her friend Harvey Weinstein's victims or put together a special exposing his whole pattern of seducing. People noticed the double standard quickly, and they were saying how it's mighty interesting that Oprah didn't jump in to do something similar for the woman who spoke out against Harvey Weinstein. So after all this went down, Monique again called out Oprah and accused her of throwing dirt on MJ's legacy.
And this man has been gone for over 10 years. And not only is he gone, he was found not guilty. He was found not guilty. So here's a man that was found not guilty in the eyes of the law. In the eyes of the law. And you wait for 10 years after this man is deceased to now do an interview with people that said they lied.
By the way, this is a point that even Michael's own family brought up, calling Oprah out for being two-faced. Brandy Jackson and Taj Jackson, Michael's niece and nephew, went in on Oprah during a podcast talk. And Taj came out swinging, saying Oprah's been playing the Jackson family for ratings for years.
Because, I mean, Oprah was also the one that, you know, when my uncle passed, she wanted the exclusive interview with my grandma and the kids. And I was there and she was talking about how Michael was misrepresented. You know, no one understood Michael and we were trying to get the real Michael. So I think in a sense, Oprah will say what Oprah wants to say to get the interview. and she's done that to our family many times. And so we have a different view of Oprah than everyone else does.
And then Taj mentioned that if Oprah really wanted to expose predators in Hollywood, she would start with her buddy, Harvey Weinstein.
There's plenty of people that Oprah knows that she could have done a special on, someone very big right now that's in the news that no one's talking about, that she's friends with. Mr. Harvey Weinstein.
As for Monique, she knew what she was talking about because her career also suffered after dealing with Oprah. For those of you who don't know, back in 2009, Monique was getting a lot of buzz for her impressive performance in Precious, directed by Lee Daniels and produced by Oprah and Tyler Perry. But after Monique completed all her contractual obligations and was looking forward to finally getting some downtime with her husband and kids, Oprah and Tyler demanded she go overseas and promote the movie for free. Monique politely turned them down, explaining she had already done everything laid out in her Lionsgate contract. But then Lee Daniels reportedly threatened Monique, telling her it's not going to play out well for you. And he was right, because before you knew it, the media started painting Monique as difficult and hard to handle on set. And that's when Monique realized what she was truly dealing with.
What you can't do, Monique, is go against the grain. You can't go against this machine.
But then Oprah did something even shadier and tried to exploit Monique's SA trauma for ratings. Monique opened up before about how she was SA'd by her own brother Gerald, and how when she spoke out, her parents didn't believe her. So in 2010, Oprah came up with a brilliant idea to invite Gerald on her show. And she even tried to pull Monique in too. But Monique told Oprah she wasn't interested in being part of that episode, although she didn't care if her brother wanted to go. But when the episode aired, Monique was shocked to see that Oprah invited not just Gerald, but also their parents, the same parents who brushed off Monique's SA trauma.
I did assault and inappropriately touch my sister in manners that were not comfortable for her. And for that, I apologize. And I'm humbly sorry.
When Monique caught wind of what went down, it hit her hard. She tried to hit up Oprah and confront her about the mess, but Oprah went ghost. Eventually, Monique bumped into Oprah at some Hollywood event, and Oprah tried to play it off, saying she had no clue Gerald would bring his parents with him. But Monique wasn't buying it, and she suspected Oprah was lying to her face.
I shared with her that me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt. And, trying to figure this thing out. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm gonna have your mother, I would have said, shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is.
But through all the mess, drama, and talk swirling around her, Oprah somehow built herself up as this do-gooder, earning awards left and right and getting major props for her charity work. I mean, she even received that Presidential Medal of Freedom back in 2013 from President Obama, despite all the scandals and controversies. But if there's one person who never bought into Oprah's humanitarian image, it's Dave Chappelle. Dave is one of the few celebs who peeped behind Oprah's curtain long before all these scandals blew up. Way back in 2006, Dave appeared on the Oprah show to set the record straight on why he turned down a $50 million offer from Comedy Central and went to Africa. Dave tried to explain he didn't want to suffer the same fate many of his peers suffered after signing a huge contract. But Oprah played dumb and tried to paint Dave as crazy.
Colleagues were quoted as saying that you had become increasingly paranoid. Would you say you were paranoid?
Sure. First of all, what is a black man without his paranoia intact? If you get, you might win $100 in a poker game and be on the subway. You're gonna look over your shoulder. They just said in everything I had $50 million. That's like making me a marked man.
So did you go to a psychiatric hospital?
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Who? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was so...
I'm only asking because I need to ask.
I gotta get people thinking, all right, who goes from America to Africa for medical attention?
To force him to take anti-psychotic meds just because he wanted to have some creative control of his own show. But Oprah completely brushed that off like it was nothing and kept trying to get Dave to admit he was acting paranoid.
And I knew I was gonna leave, so I got ahead of schedule and I bounced. And I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication.
like
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid, like, you know.
But you were stressed out. That's
There's
why.
no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane.
And now that Oprah is again in the headlines for all the wrong reasons over supposedly trying to lowball Taraji, people in Dave Chappelle's circle are talking, saying Dave is not batting an eye at these new allegations about Oprah because he clocked her game a long time ago. Dave has apparently been holding on to this belief for a minute that Oprah is one of those handlers playing the game for Hollywood higher-ups and pulling strings behind the scenes. So now that the spotlight is on these fresh claims about Oprah allegedly hating on Taraji, Dave is probably somewhere saying, told you so. But what do you have to say about all these allegations swirling around?
Man, Oprah, that's crazy. To be this particular way about your own people. Now, throughout the whole video, I've seen nothing but our own colored people, bro. One clip, she's kissing Harvey. The next clip, she's bashing Toni. Then she's bashing Monique. And now Dave Chappelle, she's trying to bash him in front of his face and ask him, was he crazy? And did he go to South Africa? Did he go to Africa to a mental hospital? Dave Chappelle put her in her place, bro. Dave Chappelle put Oprah in her place, man. And it's sad to say that she's so allegedly selling her soul with the higher ups of Hollywood to bash her own black people, bro. That's crazy. Women and men both. That's crazy. I don't get it. Oprah she seems like a handler. She's acting just like a handler, period, bro. That is crazy, man. Oprah, we as the black community supported Oprah for so long. Me, I didn't watch the show. My mom, my grandmother, a lot of my family, bro, everybody used to love Oprah. But now it's like everybody looking at it and seeing the real Oprah. And like now we're like, damn, maybe we should have listened to Chappelle from the get-go. That's crazy.